90% of riders never actually become better riders. They just become riders with more years. Same roads, same habits, same skill level. And the strange part is, most of them truly believe they're improving. They feel more comfortable, sure. They feel more confident. But comfort and confidence are not the same as skill. If you put them in a slightly different situation, a tighter corner, a sudden obstacle, a bit of pressure, the cracks start to show. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you really pay attention to riders who do improve over time, the ones who look smooth, controlled, almost effortless, they're not doing anything flashy. They're not riding faster all the time. They're not taking big risks. Instead, they're doing a few small things differently, things most riders overlook. And one of those things, the one I'll get to near the end, is the exact reason some riders keep getting better year after year, while others stay stuck without even realizing it. Keep that in mind as we go, because once you notice it, you won't be able to unsee it. Let's get into it. Tip 1. Slow down your inputs. This is one of the fastest ways to improve your riding, and almost nobody focuses on it. Most riders think getting better means going faster, but real improvement starts with control. And control starts with how you use the controls. If you watch two riders side by side, one experienced, one not, you'll notice something right away. It's not speed, it's how they move. Newer riders tend to treat the bike like a machine with buttons. Throttle on, brake on, clutch out. Everything is quick. Everything is sharp. But experienced riders, they do the opposite. They treat every input like it has a range. They roll on the throttle slowly, not suddenly. They squeeze the brake instead of grabbing it. They ease out the clutch like they're blending it, not releasing it. And this changes everything, because motorcycles react strongly to sudden inputs. If you snap the throttle, the bike jerks. If you grab the brake, the weight shifts abruptly. If you dump the clutch, the whole bike reacts. That instability forces you to constantly correct. And that's where a lot of riders get stuck. They're always fixing the bike instead of guiding it. But when your inputs are smooth, something different happens. The bike settles. It becomes calm. It starts to feel predictable. And once the bike feels predictable, your brain relaxes. You stop rushing. You stop reacting late. You start flowing with the bike instead of fighting it. And here's the part most people don't expect. Smooth riders often end up being faster without trying to be. Because they're not wasting time correcting mistakes. They're just moving cleanly from one action to the next. So here's something simple you can try. On your next ride, slow everything down just a little. Not dramatically, just about 20%. Roll the throttle on slower than usual. Squeeze the brake more gently. Release the clutch more smoothly. At first, it might feel strange, like you're being too careful, but give it a few minutes. You'll start to notice the bike feels more stable, more balanced. And that's when you'll realize something important. Most riders aren't limited by speed. They're limited by how they handle the basics. Tip 2. Look further ahead than you think you should. This one sounds simple, but it completely changes how you ride. Most riders look just a short distance ahead of the bike, maybe a couple of seconds down the road, just enough to react to what's coming next. And that's the key word, react. When your vision is short, everything feels rushed. Corners appear suddenly. Traffic feels unpredictable. You find yourself making last-second decisions. And when you're always reacting late, your riding becomes tense. You brake harder than needed. You turn later than you should. You feel like things are happening to you instead of you controlling them. Now compare that to riders who look much further ahead. 5 seconds. Sometimes more. It doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is. Because the further you look, the more time your brain has. More time to process. More time to plan. More time to stay calm. And calm riders make better decisions. They start setting up for corners earlier. They adjust speed smoothly instead of suddenly. They pick cleaner lines without even thinking about it too much. It's almost like they're riding in slow motion, even when they're not. Here's a simple way to feel this difference. On your next ride, pick a point further down the road than you normally would, maybe twice as far. Hold your vision there for a few seconds. Then gently move it even further. Don't stare at one spot, just keep your eyes scanning ahead. You'll notice something quickly. Your body starts to relax. Your movements become smoother, and the road feels less rushed. Now, here's something most riders don't realize. Where you look doesn't just affect what you see. It affects how you ride, because your hands and body naturally follow your eyes. So if your vision is short and rushed, your riding will be too. But if your vision is calm and far ahead, your riding starts to match it. And once you feel that difference, it changes how you approach every road. Tip 3. Use your lane position intentionally. A lot of riders treat their lane like a fixed space. They pick a spot and stay there, usually the center, sometimes slightly left or right, but often it's just habit. And that's where the problem starts. Because lane position isn't just about staying inside the lines, it's about what you can see and what others can see. It's about information. Different positions in your lane give you different advantages. The left side often gives you a better view ahead, especially in traffic. The right side can help you see further around certain corners. Sometimes moving slightly within your lane gives you more space from other vehicles. But here's the key point. There is no correct position all the time. The best position is always changing, and the riders who improve are the ones who adjust constantly, even in small ways. They don't just sit in one place. They shift slightly to improve their view. They move to stay visible. They position themselves to create space. And most of the time, it's subtle. Not big movements, just small adjustments that make the ride easier and safer. So here's something to start doing. Every time you settle into a lane, ask yourself one quick question. Why am I here? Not in a complicated way, just a quick check. Is this giving me the best view? Am I visible to others? Do I have space if something changes? If you don't have a clear reason, that's your sign to adjust. And once you start thinking like this, something shifts. You stop riding passively. You start riding with intention. And that's one of the biggest differences between riders who improve and riders who stay the same. Tip 4. Relax your grip on the handlebars. This one feels small, but it has a huge impact. Most riders don't even realize they're doing it. They hold the handlebars too tight, especially when they're focused or slightly nervous or riding faster than usual. It happens without thinking. The grip tightens, the arms stiffen, the shoulders lock up. And once that tension builds, the bike starts to feel different, less stable, less smooth, harder to control. And the natural reaction is to hold on even tighter, which makes it worse. Here's what's really happening. When your arms are stiff, you're not letting the bike move naturally. Motorcycles are designed to move slightly underneath you, to lean, to adjust, to respond to the road. But when you're tense, you interfere with that movement. You end up fighting the bike, even if you don't realize it. And that creates small instability that keeps building. Now compare that to a relaxed rider. Their grip is light, their arms are loose, their upper body isn't trying to control every movement. Instead, they guide the bike. They let it do what it's designed to do. And because of that, everything feels smoother. Turns feel easier. The bike tracks better. Small bumps don't upset the balance as much. Here's a quick check you can do anytime. While riding, try to wiggle your fingers slightly on the grips. Just a small movement. If it feels difficult or forced, you're holding too tight. That's your signal. Loosen your grip. Let your arms relax. You don't need to let go. Just reduce the pressure. And almost instantly, you'll feel a difference. The bike will feel lighter, more stable, more natural. Now keep this in mind as we move forward, because the next habit builds on this idea of awareness, and it's where most riders unknowingly start to separate from real improvement. Tip 5. Practice one skill per ride. This is where things start to change in a bigger way. Most riders believe that just riding more will make them better. And to a certain point, it helps. You get more comfortable. You understand your bike better. You build basic confidence. But after a while, progress slows down. You ride the same way. You repeat the same habits. And without realizing it, you stop improving. This is where a lot of riders plateau. Not because they can't improve, but because they stop practicing, even though they're still riding. And the difference between those two things is huge. Riding is repeating what you already know. Practice is improving something specific. And the riders who keep getting better understand this. They don't try to fix everything at once. They pick one small thing, just one. Maybe today it's smoother throttle control. Maybe it's looking further through corners. Maybe it's braking more progressively. Nothing complicated. Just one focus for the entire ride. And because their attention is focused, something interesting happens. They notice more. They feel small changes. They catch mistakes earlier. They adjust in real time. And by the end of the ride, that one skill is slightly better. Not perfect, just better. Now here's where it gets powerful. On the next ride, they pick something else, or they refine the same skill again. And over time, these small improvements stack up. Before we get into the final tips, think about something for a second. If you ride regularly, You've probably had moments where everything just felt right. A corner that felt smooth without effort. A stretch of road where your timing felt perfect. A ride where nothing felt rushed. And then other days feel the opposite. Same rider, same bike, but completely different experience. That difference isn't random. It comes down to awareness. And that's exactly what the next habit builds. Tip 6. Learn to read your motorcycle. Your bike is always talking to you, not with words, but through feel, through small signals that most riders ignore. And this is where a quiet shift happens between average riders and riders who keep improving. Most riders focus only on what's in front of them: traffic, road conditions, speed. And while that's important, it's only half the picture, because the other half is what the bike is telling you in real time. Every small movement means something: a slight vibration through the handlebars, a change in how the front end feels mid corner, a small shift in weight when you roll on the throttle. These aren't random, they're feedback. And experienced riders pay attention to it, even when they're not trying to. They feel when the front tire is loaded properly. They notice when the rear feels light. They sense when something is slightly off before it becomes a problem. But here's the important part: this isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And it starts with simple awareness. You don't need to analyze everything deeply, just check in with the bike every now and then. During a ride, take a few seconds and ask yourself, how does the front feel right now? Is the steering light or heavy? Does the rear feel stable? Don't overthink it. Just notice. At first, it might feel like nothing is happening, like everything feels the same. But over time, you'll start picking up small differences. And those differences matter because they give you early warning signs. You'll feel when your inputs are too abrupt. You'll notice when the bike is unsettled before it becomes obvious. You'll start correcting things earlier, without panic. And this connects directly to something we talked about earlier: smooth inputs. When you begin to feel how the bike reacts, you naturally become smoother. Not because you're forcing it, but because you can feel what works and what doesn't. Now, here's something that separates improving riders from everyone else. They don't just feel the bike, they trust what feels. If something feels off, they adjust. They don't ignore it. They don't push through it blindly. They listen. And that habit alone prevents a lot of mistakes. Because most problems don't appear suddenly, they build slowly, in small signals. And the riders who notice those signals early stay in control. But there's still one missing piece. You can ride smoothly, you can look ahead, you can feel the bike, and still stop improving after a certain point. That's where the final tip comes in. And this is the one most riders skip completely. Tip 7. Review your rides. This is the habit that quietly decides everything. And almost nobody does it. After a ride, most people just move on. They park the bike, take off their gear, and that's it. The ride is over. No thought, no reflection. And because of that, nothing really sticks. Every ride becomes just another ride. But the riders who keep improving treat the end of a ride differently. They pause for a moment, not long, just a minute or two, and they replay parts of the ride in their head. Not in a harsh way, not judging themselves, just observing. That corner felt really smooth. Why did it feel that way? That moment in traffic felt awkward. What happened there? That braking felt perfect. What did I do differently? These questions seem small, but they do something powerful. They turn experience into understanding. Without this step, your brain doesn't fully process what happened. It just moves on. But when you reflect, even briefly, your brain starts connecting patterns. You begin to see cause and effect. You realize, I braked earlier there and it felt better. I looked further ahead and the corner felt easier. I rushed that input and the bike felt unstable. And once you see those connections, you can repeat what works. Now here's the key point. You don't need to review everything. Just pick one or two moments, good or bad. That's enough. Because over time, these small reflections build awareness, and awareness builds control, and control builds confidence, the real kind, not just the feeling. This is why some riders keep improving year after year. Not because they ride more, but because they learn from what they ride. Every ride teaches them something, even a short ride, even a simple commute. Now think back to what I mentioned earlier. Most riders believe they're improving, but if they never reflect, how would they know? They're just repeating the same habits. And repetition without awareness doesn't create skill. It creates routine, and that's where the plateau comes from. But the moment you start reviewing your rides, even briefly, that changes. You break the cycle. You start improving again. And once you build that habit, it becomes automatic. You'll catch yourself thinking about a corner you took 5 minutes ago. You'll notice what worked without trying to. And that's when riding becomes something more than just movement. It becomes a skill you're actively shaping. So let's bring everything together. If you want to become a better rider, smoother, safer, more in control, it doesn't come from pushing harder. It comes from paying attention to the right things. Slow down your inputs. Look further ahead. Choose your lane position with purpose. Relax your grip on the handlebars. Practice one skill at a time. Listen to what your bike is telling you, and take a moment to review your rides. None of this requires special gear. None of it requires a track. And none of it depends on how long you've been riding. It's all about how you ride and how you think about your riding. And if you stick with these habits, something interesting happens over time. You stop feeling rushed. You stop second guessing your movements. You start flowing with the bike instead of reacting to it. And other people will notice it too. Not because you're riding aggressively, but because you look calm, smooth, in control. And that's the real goal. Not just riding, but riding well. Now, before you head out on your next ride, keep one simple idea in your mind. You don't need to fix everything at once. Just pick one thing, focus on it, feel it, and then build from there. That's how real improvement happens. Quietly, consistently, ride after ride. If this kind of breakdown is something you enjoy, the small details, the thinking behind riding, the things most riders overlook, there's a small group on this channel that goes a bit deeper into it. It's called the Auto Nerd Membership. Nothing complicated. Just riders who want to understand the craft a little more. If that sounds like your kind of thing, you can join and officially become a certified auto nerd. Either way, appreciate you being here. Ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one.